So मैम जैसे we discussed about everything, I'm sure कि बहुत सारे myths society में already हैं about sex. 3 biggest sex myths.
Okay. First one, no such thing as a loose vagina. बहुत लोगों को ये idea आ गया है that the more sex that somebody has, a woman has, कि उसका vagina loose हो जाता है. The vagina is a muscular tube. It expands, it contracts. It does not become loose. Certainly not with having too much sex or having any amount of sex.
Sure.
Sex doesn't make vagina loose. Over time, what does happen is that your estrogen levels go down. That means that your muscle tone goes.
Okay.
Because estrogen levels जब इतने नहीं होते, the muscle tone goes of the pelvic floor muscles which surround the vagina. So it's not the vagina itself. With age, they can become lazy, which means that you start getting incontinence, etc. So this can at any time, you can exercise the pelvic floor muscles. You can bring the tone back. But yeah, it doesn't become loose. The second thing is that I think has become a real problem in the way of a myth. Men are ready for sex at all times. There is no, there's no importance, there's no leverage given to the fact कि उनके emotions हो सकते हैं, उनके circumstances, stress, pressure, ये वो. Masculinity means that you're always ready for sex. So any guy who's not at that point feeling it or is going through bad time and doesn't want it or the circumstances are such, he's made to feel that there's something wrong with his masculinity. And that leaves a very toxic, negative feeling for men. So we have to change that myth for sure. And finally, the virgin myth. कि there's a lot, for me, it's actually one of the most problematic things because it's literally about reducing a woman to the size of her genitalia. That's it. और उसमें कुछ है ही नहीं. कि अगर औरत के साथ हो तो virgin होना चाहिए. Virgin का मतलब अब they've learned that it's not always the hymen, because hymen can be broken. There are some guys who still are going on about the hymen and the blood. I've realized what I've been told by men is we don't see if there's blood. We will see if she gets pain or not. So they are actually looking for pain to know whether she's a virgin or not. So you are not looking to see that I'm with a partner, we're going to share this intimate moment, that I want to bring her to pleasure, make sure that there is no discomfort. It's got to be amazing. They're waiting to see the pain to make her acceptable. I've even had guys writing, the level of ignorance around it. One guy had written, there was this long ladai going on one of my posts, and this guy said, yeah, but you can't always tell how to tell. And this one guy said, it's okay, just get a lie detector test done. That always works. It's like, you're getting a lie detector test because you're going to get married to somebody and to see whether she's a virgin or not. FBI is going to build an entire building with kiosks for lie detector tests for virgins, for virginity. So virginity is not a medical condition.
Sure.
It is not a medical condition. Hence, there is no actual way to prove virginity, which is terrible for a lot of women because they can never, ever prove to the other person that they are.
Right, got it. So as you said that you have to, with time, you need to see that how many times maybe you are getting on bed. So is there any recommendation of how many times, or is this something the book talks about in any vague way?
So I have mentioned this to some extent in the chapter where we talk about...
In the book?
In the book.
Okay.
Where we talk about, the question on... how do I emotionally prepare, as a guy, how to emotionally prepare myself for a first-time sex. But the thing is, how to get comfortable during sex is just something that it gets better with each time.
Mm-hmm.
Because you learn with each time. It's like when you cook a meal, when you learn to stir, everything, like I was saying about in Tantra, you learn to prick your finger, to hold your finger. Everything you learn by doing it.
Right.
Sex is the most important thing which has to come from learning. You are not born a good lover. And a good lover is not somebody who's going to last really long. That doesn't make you a good lover.
Yeah.
A good lover, as a woman, when I'm with somebody and I think that this is a good lover, it's how good I feel in myself.
Right.
How much space I'm being given to completely own my pleasure so that I'm not thinking about a million other things.
And it doesn't matter that if it is happening once a week or twice a week.
Yeah, I think again, that is something very personal. I know people who say I want it twice a day. I know people who are very happy with it once a month. It's very personal. I think that there will always be a mismatch of libido. One person will always want it more than the other. Communication is very important. Again, that has been dealt with in one of the chapters of how to communicate that thing. It's because you could fight and say, I want it more. I want it now. You could get the sex by fighting for it. It's not going to solve any problems. You need to be at a point where the other person, even if they're doing it fewer times, is wanting to do it with you. And it's pleasurable at that time. The sex needs to be redefined. It's not just penetration.
Sure. So in context with a health concern, that is no way it comes in between. For a health concern, one shouldn't do it maybe twice a day or something like that. There's no space.
The only thing we always say is that if it's getting to a point where you're so addicted that you cannot live your normal life, or that, where it's getting in the way of you doing your job, eating your meals, just doing anything, that is called an addiction. That is a health issue. If you're getting to a point where, let's say you are in a long distance relationship, I think, again, we've dealt with that in one of the chapters. You meet after a while, much excitement, you have sex. It's, there's a lot of excitement. People feel that if they're excited, that they must be aroused. The body takes longer to get aroused, even if your mind has already got there. So you could end up extra passionate sex. You've injured yourself a little bit. थोड़ा सा अब तुम अगर उसको heal नहीं करने दो and you do it again and again, that can cause a health problem. But no, otherwise, good sex is great.
Some people who are, because you talk about long distance, they do that online sex thing as well. So is it normal? Is it fine? Or
a lot of people do that. I think the biggest concern for me in that is that a lot of people will non-consensually make videos of that.
Yeah.
Or even consensually, which can then later become a problem. So for me, that is an issue, but sometimes there is no other way out. We have again dealt with long distance relationships and intimacy in one of the chapters.
Everything is in the book. I got that.
No, it's funny that you were saying it, because
everything is coming there.
Literally everything that I think the only thing I don't have a chapter on is oral sex.
Okay.
Everything else is covered.
Right. Would you say the same thing for people who masturbate? Because there are many people who question and they write down in the comments that, ma'am, please tell us that what's the right number? How many times is it safe? I'm getting bald. I'm losing my hair.
Yeah.
Please remove the myths around masturbation.
So masturbation, again, doctors will tell you that if it is to the point where you cannot live your normal life, that's all you're doing, that is an addiction. Doing it many times during the day when you have the time, etc., is not a problem. As a matter of fact, most urologists will say that a man should ejaculate a minimum of 22 times in a month. So whether it is through partnered sex or self-pleasure, that should happen that often.
Both genders?
Both genders, but this is particularly for men.
Okay.
So the urologists definitely say that for guys, it is very important for your prostate to stay healthy if the ejaculation is done really often.
Right.
So that is important. A lot of people feel that if you masturbate in a certain way, you lose sensitivity. Certain things can happen. So, for instance, with guys, because the nerve endings on the penis are at the tip. Whereas if you are self-pleasuring, most people will hold the shaft. अब वो nerve endings they अंदर जाके हैं थोड़े से deeper. So to get the excitement, वो काफी hard पकड़ना पड़ता है. We call it the death grip. अब एक बार उसकी आदत पड़ जाए, it is difficult to then do it differently. So my advice is always change it. Don't just always do it the one way. It's very easy to do it the one way because you know it works for you. For girls, a lot of them will do this thing of squeezing their thighs together, which then means, because it's very quick, it's very easy, and it has results every time. What then does happen is that most of the positions that we have are where the woman's legs have to be open. So she then finds it more difficult to orgasm with her legs open. So these are certain issues that can come up. Or you get used to touching yourself a certain way or thinking of a certain thing. So my only advice is change it up a little bit.
Okay.
Mix it up. Thoda sa, so that your vocabulary increases for pleasure.
Sure.
Because if you get stuck in the one way, you are likely to face a few more issues.